So Bradley Manning received a 35-year sentence. We're at a press conference here to talk about it, put on by the Bradley Manning Support Network. We're going to continue our efforts for Bradley. When the sentence was announced, we made it clear to Bradley before he was whisked out of the courtroom that people were still with him. We're not giving up on him. We're going to help him through his appeals. We're going to help him seek a pardon. We're going to help him try to go to college. In fact, on BradleyManning.org, there's a college scholarship donation opportunity for people if they want to help Bradley Manning. Because that's really what this kid wanted. He wanted to go to college. That's why he went to the military. And it really shows a failure of our society that this very bright young kid was born into a very tough circumstance, 2 alcoholic parents, an abusive father, a suicidal mother, raised by his 11-year-old sister, and nothing intervened to help that situation. And then he tries to he gets through all that, succeeds in under high school, up to high school, and tries to go to college. There's no money for it. This is a failure of our society. And I think one of the really interesting things about this sentencing and this time period is that it's occurring when the CIA, after 60 years, finally admits that they overthrew the Iranian government in 1953, overthrowing a prime minister who was democratically elected, Prime Minister Mossadegh, and look at the damage that caused. Imagine if Iran had allowed to have its democracy, allowed to keep its oil wealth. What would that have shown Middle Eastern countries? We wouldn't be fighting Islamic extremism today because you'd have countries that were functioning. But instead, we went in, we overthrew that government. So my question really for people is to think about transparency is necessary. Would Mossadegh have been overthrown if the CIA knew they were going to get caught? And Bradley Manning is about transparency. And so I think we see that transparency does lack of transparency does great damage. Transparency will produce better policy. Lack of transparency results in people being killed and mistaken policies. Transparency would stop that from happening. So Bradley Manning really is a symbol of a more open government and a government that's not committing the atrocities of war the way the United States does with a very militaristic foreign policy.
Anything else, Kevin?
That's it.
Thanks so much.